What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're going to be jumping into the next one on our Netherlands journey. The history of Efteling, Netherlands Expedition Efteling. We might just have to have let's everybody get together and meet up at the Efteling party when I decide to come to the Netherlands. That could be kind of fun. This one is coming at us via donation from Geert-Jan. Much love. I do appreciate the support. Let's jump in. Let's check it out together. Let's see. I've heard a little bit, and y'all know I'm a Disney person, and so, yeah, this sounds like my kind of place already, from what I know of it. And all I know is that it's kind of cool place for kids. Like, let's go.
Welcome back to Expedition Weekly. On this week's episode, we're heading to the
That was a terrifying tree. They had something that looked just like that in Oregon.
Netherlands to take a look at one of the most visited theme parks in Europe, Efteling. I'm going to apologize in advance for my awful Dutch pronunciations, which I will pronounce wrong.
Hey, give him credit. Shout out to him for actually saying, hey, I'm going to pronounce them wrong and I'm sorry in advance.
Paul in de Efteling, een wereld vol wonderen.
Efteling is the largest theme park in the Netherlands and one of the oldest theme parks in the world. It opened on May 31st, 1952 and
what kind of things did you have way back in 1952? Just plastic trees or...
and one of the oldest theme parks in the world. It opened on May 31st, 1952 and evolved from a nature playground into a fairy tale forest. We'll be taking a look at the park's history and give a little glimpse as to what this charming park based on ancient myths, legends, fables and fairy tales is all about. Located in the town of Kaatsheuvel, the Efteling Nature Park Foundation was founded in 1950 by the mayor of Loon, R.J. van der Heyden, filmmaker Peter Reinders, and designer-artist Anton Pieck. The name came from a 16th century farm called Oosterling. Work began in 1951 for the expansion of the park to introduce a new playground, tea house, sports field, and a pond, as well as parking facilities. It wasn't until 1952
that was retro
and the
back
introduction
then
of the fairy tale forest that things really started to take off, and a shift from the recreational park to a theme park. The fairy tale forest opened with 10 fairy tales within it. Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, The Frog Prince, Long Neck, and the Chinese Nightingale were just some of the fairy tales featured. In its first year,
So, like, can we be real? Because I've heard some stories about how Walt Disney took a trip to this place. Like, did we jack some ideas from the Dutch for Disneyland? Did we? Possibly.
Saw over 220,000 visitors through the gates. Over the next couple of years, the park would continue to expand, adding more fairy tales such as Hansel and Gretel and introducing a steam carousel. By 1956, the attendance had more than doubled to over 700,000 a year. There is a long-standing rumour and legend that claims that Walt Disney himself visited the early Efteling Park and was inspired to break ground on his own park in California. However, this may not be entirely true. Walt did take inspiration from a variety of different places when designing Disneyland, places such as Griffith Park in Los Angeles and Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen. So it is not a completely bogus theory that he could have drawn some inspiration from Efteling. Walt did tour the Netherlands at least once during...
If the Efteling is one of the oldest in the world, it would only make sense that he's got some of his ideas from there, got some inspiration from there. That makes sense.
That he could have drawn some inspiration from Efteling. Walt did tour the Netherlands at least once during the 50s, but allegedly this was more to visit a studio that was dubbing Walt Disney films into Dutch. It's an intriguing rumour to say the least, with the crossover of fairy tales and some similar themes.
We're here just to see Holland, to visit Holland. While here, I hope to pay a visit to the Polygon Profility Studios, who have been doing the Dutch versions of all of our pictures. And I hear by those that would know and be qualified to judge that they've been doing a very good job. And I hope the Dutch people have liked them too.
One such
I
connection
don't know, it seems kind of sketch to me. Walt seems a little sketch.
between Disney and Efteling is true though. During the construction of Disneyland Paris, Disney Imagineers consulted Efteling during the construction and its design phase to help adapt the American park to European tastes. 1959 saw the addition of a friendly glutton,
Friendly? That thing looks anything but friendly. It looks like it will eat your hand.
Bolly Bollygeist, who is a paper devouring bin. He still operates in the park to this day and is famous around the world for begging to be fed paper. If you did not grow up in Western Europe, you may be unfamiliar with some of the characters inside the park. While it does feature familiar characters such as Red Riding Hood, other characters such as Longneck is a character from the Sixth Servant.
Who the hell is Longneck? Who is Longneck? Nobody. I've never heard of Longneck.
Characters such as Red Riding Hood, other characters such as Longneck is a character from the Six Servants, one of the Brother Grimm's less well-known stories. Longneck can, as the name suggests, grow his neck to various lengths to see across long distances. Throughout the 60s,
What the hell kind of a superpower is that? What kind of a fairy tale thing is that? It could see long distances?
Tales were added to the park, as well as a miniature railway and dioramas. Anton Pieck, the first lead designer of the park, is seen as one of the reasons why the park had great success. His illustration style being grim and dark while also nostalgic was a philosophy the park would keep, with no cheap building materials ever used. In the mid-70s, the chief designer position had been passed down onto Ton van der Ven, who had already been working at Efteling for several years. Pieck was said to be very pleased with Van der Ven's work, and in 1978 saw the addition of the Haunted Castle attraction, which was the first to be designed entirely by him. Van der Ven is considered by many to be the best Imagineer outside
We like
of
some
Disney,
haunted houses
and
now.
continued his work until 2002
It's
when
kind
he
of funny
retired.
that the Efteling has a haunted house and Disney has a haunted mansion. Just
We
saying.
will take a look at some of Van der Ven's rides in further details in the future weekly episodes, but he designed multiple popular attractions within the park.
It's all very animated.
The first still coaster was added to the park in 1981, called Python. This was a resounding success from its first day operating, but
like
did have some
roller
issues
coasters.
operating late due to the noise the ride created later in its life. The ride was actually demolished and recreated in 2017, keeping as true to the original as possible, but with a smoother and quieter ride. The park continued to add top quality attractions throughout the 80s, and the park expanded greatly. Rides such as Half Moon, the swinging ship,
Hate the
Piranha, a
swinging
river
ship.
raft ride, Bob Track, a bobsled roller coaster,
My father, we have one of those in
Half Moon,
our, not this one,
the swinging ship,
Rapids.
Piranha,
Yeah, we got the same kind of rapids at our theme park in California, our amusement park. My father helped build the engines for these things. Very cool.
80s, and the park expanded greatly. Rides such as Half Moon, the swinging ship, Piranha, a river raft ride, Bob Track, a bobsled roller coaster, and also an observation tower were just some of the additions to the park. (1992) saw Efteling turn 40 years old, and it's celebrated by opening the first on-site hotel. There was also a museum exhibit of initial designer Anton Pieck. The resort has continued to grow since then and now offers 2 hotels, the theme park, a theatre, and a golf course, as well as 2 holiday villages. 1993 saw the addition of Dreamflight, in which visitors fly through a dream world of forests, castles, and other fairy tale-like scenes. The ride puts visitors in small open cabins hanging from the ceiling. The ride was initially supposed to open in 1992 to correlate with the anniversary, but delays with the ride cabin saw it delayed, with the ride costing €4.5 million more than expected, bringing its total cost to $12.5 million. The most expensive ride at Efteling to that day, but a beautiful crafted dark ride was added to the park. 1996 saw the addition of 2
It's
new
like a whole
major parks.
fairy tale, but it's kind of creepy at the same time. Like, there are some kids, I bet you they get terrified of the Efteling, some of the little creatures there.
Of the park. The House of the Five Senses was created by Ton van der Ven as the new entrance to the Efteling, and the introduction of the Madhouse ride. Up until 1999, the park had only operated seasonally from April until October. As the park was expanding greatly and its popularity continued to increase, the park's management experimented with the idea of winter Efteling, which would keep the park open with a selection of rides, but would feature holiday displays and Christmas lights.
That's
Winter
very
Efteling
cool.
still occurs from November until February, but the park is open year-round. As the years progress, more rides and fairy tales are continually added to the park.
Kapitein van der Dekken met Pasen vooruit. In stremende stormwind verliet hij zijn bruid.
2007 saw the addition of the Flying Dutchman water coaster / dark ride, which continued the spectacular theme the park is known for. And in 2008 saw the replacement of the park's first wooden coaster Pegasus, which was replaced by a dueling wooden roller coaster called George and the Dragon. As the park continued to
Our roller coaster back home still has the wooden roller coaster, just like this. Looks, it's damn near it to a T.
Which was replaced by a dueling wooden roller coaster called George and the Dragon. As the park continued to expand, Efteling saw the addition of its first nighttime show in 2012 called Aquanura. The water show is the largest in Europe and features the third largest fountain in the world. It is often compared to a smaller version of Disney's World of Color at Disney's California Adventure. Some notable additions to the park in recent years is the B&M dive coaster Baron 1898, another heavily themed coaster set in 1898.
That's a lot of
about
people.
a gold mining shaft. We'll be taking a look at some of the attractions within this park though on future expeditions.
How are we just hanging here?
Efteling was largely built in a pine forest in a rural area, giving the park a very natural feel. It has an abundance of green space and allows the visitors to get sucked into its storytelling. Growing from just 10 fairy tales in a fairy tale forest in 1952 to over 29 these days, the park goes from strength to strength. There are a variety of different attractions, shows, and museums for all ages to be entertained, and the intricate theming and attention to detail keep this marvelous park at the top of many people's favorites. From its unique take on attractions to its focus on unique fairy tales, such as a statue of a donkey who can poop gold from the Brothers Grimm story, The Table, the Ass, and the Stick. The statue really does poop plastic gold. I strongly encourage anyone visiting Europe to check out
I'm getting a gold coin.
Efteling. We hope you enjoyed this look at the park and keep an eye out on future expeditions that will give a more in-depth look at some of the rides and attractions the park has to offer.
This place is a world of wonders waiting to be discovered by you. Efteling, World of Wonders.
Efteling really is one of the best theme parks in Europe. We will see you next time.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The history of Efteling, most certainly a place that we need to get to when we get to the Netherlands, because I'm all about that kind of fairy tale magic staying alive. And it definitely has a lot of similarities to the theme park that I have back near my house called Great America in California. A lot of very similar looking rides even. Maybe mine got a lot of their inspiration from there. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely send me anything else that we have on the Efteling. Let me know how it's important to you, how it's special to you. Let me know if it's not. At the same time, let me know if you're just not one of those people that's into it, or maybe you used to be into it and you're not into it anymore. If you guys enjoyed it though, go show Expedition Theme Park some love on their channel. I'm gonna drop it down there inside the description. Hit the like button if you liked it, the dislike button if you disliked it. Check out one of my other videos up there. Subscribe right here if you want to see more content, possibly your content. Till the next one, I'm highly combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. I love you to the moon and back. Peace.